Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Comic Podcast. It is not Jay today. She is off saving the world. I will be stepping in to host today. And today I am joined by usual group of suspects. Got Hugh,
Yo,
got lovely Aaron,
Hello.
and we got Manuel.
Hey, what's up?
And today we're going to, I guess, somewhat continue our conversation on just well-being and our mentality. So we've been talking a lot about past struggles. We've been talking a lot about how we overcome those. Let's focus on how do we deal with present problems. What are we facing today? Just to get right into it, Aaron, how about you just start us off?
Let's tread the water lightly to start.
All right, you guys ready to cry?
Because
cry? What? I
I
Absolutely.
don't
have
cry.
been saying this all week, okay? All week. Okay, how about we start with how do you usually cope when you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed?
Growing up, I was prone to anger. I realized this at like as I was going through high school. I would be prone to anger, and then as I got into adulthood, it was still pretty bad. I had to get a handle on this because this started to really pop up when I started like my first big job in IT, and I was dealing with a supervisor that was an absolute ass. He would ridicule, he would say
Oh,
stuff behind your back, and he would make you feel like even though you are doing good, you don't know what you're doing. That would, of course, get me mad. So what I would really have to just take a moment, reassess, and relax, and just remind yourself that you cannot let his perception of you take over. You can't let it define who you are in that current state of moment or being, because that's not true. He's responding from whichever situation is going on with him currently at the job or outside of it, and he's bringing it to the workplace, and you're getting the full brunt of it. You have to now calm down, reassess, remind you that you are far better than what he is stating.
the what you're experiencing and the way you're describing it, like everybody goes through this. It's just the real world, and you never know what the other person is going through on their end. And
Hmm.
that's always something I try to keep in mind. Like if someone blows up at you, you don't know what's going on their end. So I think it's really important, like what you said, take a minute, just remind yourself, like say it to yourself, like it's not your fault, like you're okay. And just kind of remind yourself too, like you don't know what they're going through. They could just be having a really shitty day or something could have happened at home and it's just they're deflecting on you and that's not your fault. Like that's nothing you can fix. You just have to remind yourself like stay in your lane, do what you're doing. Yeah, like take a second and just breathe. Like that's okay to remove yourself from a toxic environment because like a lot more people should be doing that.
This is how I cope with overwhelming situations. I will ask myself if I'm gonna remember this like in 5 days or 5 months from now. If it if I won't, then it's nothing to care to uh
That
to mind about.
that's a good mentality to have.
Yeah.
But do you find yourself ever in a situation where you don't have this mentality and you just react right away or something triggers you? And
Nope. I'm always in that mentality.
how did you get there? Like, how did you develop this mentality? What happened?
I've always been like that. No idea.
Just like calm, cool, and collected?
Yeah, always. I'm not always calm, cool, and collected.
But
Could not.
that's quite impressive though. It's
Yeah,
quite
I don't, I
impressive,
don't, I
you.
don't take life too seriously. That's why.
A lot of people should develop that mentality. I mean, maybe not to a full extent, but like, it's okay to learn to let things go. Like you said, if it's not going to affect you in a week, in a month, whatever, like,
Yeah, just let
keep
go.
on moving. Some people can't though, because their emotions overwhelm them and they don't know how to control them. So they react. It's about taking that step and realizing, hey, this emotion is causing me to do this. This situation triggered this emotion. So now it's about working those steps, about handling those triggers, whether it's taking a step away, taking a second to breathe,
Yes.
just reminding yourself like, hey, this is it. Once you're able to identify that trigger, you're able to catch yourself when you're feeling that emotion and say, hey, this is what's going on. And it's all about rewiring your brain.
Hmm.
Because once you learn to rewire it, you're not going to react the same way.
When I first joined the Discord, I was very super like shy and I don't share at all. But like over the time, I started like kind of opening up to everything, but I don't really share a lot that goes on in my life, like personal, emotional stuff.
Why not?
I just never have. Like as a kid, like, just growing up, I just never. I was never that type of person until maybe like 2 years ago, which some people from the Discord know about. I went like through this like big depression and everything.
Okay, and how did you overcome that?
That's when I started like actually, putting myself into more fitness because I got it like kind of like a therapy. It really did help a lot at first. And then I started
Yeah.
like trying to pick up little hobbies on the side, trying to figure out what, I enjoyed doing more often.
Did you find yourself making friends easier in the gym after you started getting consistent with it? Or did you feel yourself more comfortable to open up?
Well, no, because the gym I just started very recently. Like I've only
Oh,
been
okay.
at the actual gym for like maybe what, 2, 3 weeks now.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Usually I just worked out at home.
Oh, see, that's the big thing. As much as I would love to have an at-home gym, the fitness community, it is about the community. And like, it's great to work out at home, but it's also great to put yourself in that community because you're surrounded by like-minded people. They're gonna watch you every day, and you may not say hi to people or you may not introduce yourself, but if you start getting consistent and you go every day and you start seeing the same people every day, eventually you're gonna start talking to them naturally. Recently I started talking to a few friends that have been at my gym for over a year. We just never had a reason to talk or never had like mutual friends, and then one day, you're just talking to someone and then they join the conversation and boom, you start expanding your circle just a little bit.
But I go to the gym at like 2 a.m. There's no one in there.
Oh my god.
Man's out here on the
You
silent hours.
Oh my god, I saw this one TikTok and it said how to talk to your crush at the gym and say, "How many sets do you have left? Here, take
Oh
my
yeah.
number and call me when you're done." See?
Whoa. Damn.
See? You gotta be slick with it. No, I'm kidding. Literally as simple as, "Hey, can you spot me?" All right, let's go on to a different question. What are the emotions you most associate with your current stage in life, and how do they reflect your experiences and relationships?
These are actually hitting me a little bit now. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, I love
Oh
it.
damn.
Like I can actually respond to them right off the back. So for me, currently, like emotions I have going on for right now would be a more of just determination feel. Like I feel determination, stress for sure, but and a little bit of anger.
So how do
Honestly,
these
just kind of.
emotions guide your interactions on like a day-to-day basis?
So they like I really do try to keep it. Obviously I always keep it professional. I don't let it come to a point where like I'm gonna act sour to people. For context, I work within IT and I
Okay.
do desktop support over at a college.
Oh, I know
So
people are rude on the phone. I know people are rude on the phone.
yeah. Now, granted, my role is not service desk, right?
Okay, good.
That's level one support. I am level
Okay.
two and maybe three. But
Okay, what is
so,
that?
so what level two is essentially is the person who gets the ticket after service desk has received that ticket and they can't do anything to help and they need to escalate it
Okay.
for whatever reason, be it that they can't remote into the computer or they can't, they need to
Yeah.
physically help them and they can't do anything. Anyways, with that being said, I still get the occasional rude, obnoxious, self-entitled people. It does happen. I've been doing this for some time now, for a good number of years, and I'll be honest, I am burnt. I am spent on doing desktop support. That is also why I'm transitioning into
Okay.
finding something else, into working more on an analytical scale, in terms of just doing coding more so.
And
And
how's
that's where
that
the
been
stress
going?
comes in. Now that has been going good. It's been a little better. I've been brushing up on my skills within coding, just seeing where I can now apply and go start searching for jobs. Because it's not like I don't have any experience. I do.
Yeah. But do
So
you
now,
enjoy it? Do you find
oh yeah,
yourself enjoying what you do?
oh yeah, definitely. Like I've gone off and I create like databases. So what I do for coding, just to be more clear, it's SQL, which is also pronounced as SQL, and what that stands for is structured query language. That's where you essentially can manipulate, edit, store database, data within databases, and you get an idea of what's going on in a company.
So doing this, do you find yourself like more motivated to put the effort and the work in?
I do. I've even gone off and created my own stuff at home. So I've created little databases.
Okay.
Like I've done one for like Pokemon, like to list like number of Pokemon and the like, just to get me familiarized with it. Not like stuff like that doesn't exist out there on the web to look for, but I just do it for myself so I can actually play
Okay.
around with the concepts of SQL and know how to utilize it. From there, I even practice on a web-based platform where I can get to play around with pre-structured databases that are supposed to mimic businesses. So I can
That's
now
awesome.
really get into that as well. So I'm completely all over it. And that does come with a bit of stress because I'm here just getting anxious and I want to study it and I want to get out of this position that I'm currently in and explore and expand myself. So that's where that comes in, and I do get frustrated on not just the users but also myself on like how long it may take me.
You want it now, and
Exactly.
it's like you're
Yeah.
so close. You know what you have to do. It's right in front of you and you just want it now. And I think that's a big thing a lot of people struggle with. They just expect things to happen like right away. And when
Yeah.
it doesn't happen right away or happen the way it happened, like it does in your head, it's like falling on your face. It's like, why am I doing this? And that's where it really comes into remembering why you started it. Like you said, like you're not happy at work. You're doing this because it makes you happy. It's motivating you. When you think about your future, what emotions come up and how do those emotions shape your goals and aspirations?
I'm always excited about the future. It's always fun. I just started a bulking plan, and that's pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hence
pretty
why you ate
excited.
all the sushi for lunch?
Yeah.
Let's get back on track. Okay, Emmanuel, I got a question for you. Looking back, how have your emotions evolved over the years and what do you think has been the biggest influence on this change?
Well, like I said earlier, I was never really like an emotional person. Like I was super carefree and chill, but then I guess like after what happened a few years ago, now I've been like a little bit more sensitive, I guess, with my emotions.
I would say more in tuned, not sensitive, just more in tune. So, is there a specific like habit or behavior that you're trying to change but find difficult?
Trying to like more control more of like when I get frustrated or angry, because like I'm someone who like when you frustrate me enough, I shut down and I just don't want to talk about anything.
So, what is one thing you wish you could change about how you handle struggles? What's one small step you can take towards that change?
Probably figure out like why I get like so, triggered, I guess.
Have you sat down and actually talked to somebody about it and kind of let yourself feel those emotions to figure out why you're feeling those emotions?
Like I haven't really like tried to like sit down and talk about, stuff like that. Like in my last relationship, I kind of started working on that. And I feel like I have made some progress, but I still have a long way to go.
That's okay as long as you're trying.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You can vent it
Uh,
out in mental health. In the mental health
Well, I
channel.
how about let's do some reflecting questions and personal values and priorities. When you're feeling a specific emotion and you need a specific type of help, how do you communicate that?
For me, I feel like as much as I do encourage people to seek help and ask for it when they need it, I am actually very bad at it. I am very
Mm,
bad at asking for assistance. I think a part of me, or maybe just as a whole, just I don't believe deep down people can assist me the way that I am looking for assistance.
So,
That's
have
what
you
I think.
tried communicating that? Like, literally say, this is what I need you to do for me because this is what I'm feeling, and this is how what
Hmm.
you're doing for me is going to help me. By communicating
Yes.
that, they're now able to understand and
Hmm.
behave accordingly because they understand what you need and why you need it, so they know how to behave. If you're just popping off, like obviously we're gonna stand there and be like what are we
what's
supposed
going
to
on?
do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that like where now I am getting better at just stating what it is I'm having, what kind of issues I'm having, and then going about asking for assistance and explaining what it is I would need.
I kind of want to piggyback on what he just said.
Go
I've
ahead.
actually felt like that sometimes too. I guess when you're trying, like, I don't ask for help at all either. I know it's bad, but I bottle everything up inside, and I'm just like, whatever, man. I'll just get over it.
Same. That's what I do.
But
Yeah, that's not good.
well, it's like I've had like one example where like
Okay.
I was like going through some just like a bad moment. And so all I want to do is just like tell my friend like, hey, let's go hang out, whatever. I just want to like take a drive. And he was like, yeah, sure, all right, cool, no problem, we'll do it tomorrow. So when we set it up for tomorrow, and then like the next day, literally nowhere to be found. All I needed was just like a drive
A friend.
around and like just to hang out, whatever. But apparently they couldn't take the time out for that.
Do you think that put a strain on your relationship with that specific person going forward?
I feel like it's opened my eyes to like my relationship with most people, I guess. Like even like all my past friendships have kind of like dissipated and like just vanished, I guess.
And how did you deal with that? How are you dealing with that? What steps have you taken to find a better environment, maybe find a better group, find a better friend, or find a healthier way to cope with bottling everything up?
Well, I mean, Konami is like good for that too, because like that happens somewhat during around the same time.
I mean, I think taking that step, especially joining the server, even if you're not ready to talk about it, like you can sit there and read other people's stories, experiences. Like, just remind yourself, like, hey, I'm not in here alone. Nobody's judging. Everybody is just so supportive. Even if you read through it and just think, like, hey, like, it's okay. I'm not the only one. Like, eventually you'll be okay to start talking about it in bits. Nobody says, I'm gonna spill everything in all detail. Like if you have a bad memory or like a bad feeling, literally put it in the chat and be like, this today's just a hard day because I'm having flashbacks of this. Like when you need that push and that person right in front of you doesn't show up, you still have a whole community waiting to help you. You just have to show up for yourself and for them. All right, so just a little wrap up here.
Yep.
Is there any advice or reflections you guys want to give to our listeners out there?
Whatever anyone's going through at the moment, just let yourself go through all the motions, I guess. If you're feeling sad, just be sad. You'll eventually, in time, get over it or get through it. Just let all your feelings out, I guess. Or try to pick up like a new hobby or something new, I guess.
Something productive, yes.
I guess that just wraps it up for us right now. It was great being a host. I really hope J Man comes back. This is actually a hard ass fucking job.
I can't wait for her
But
to hear this
yes.
recording and just be like,
Yeah, I know, right?
wow, this is what happens when I'm gone. Wow, guys. I
I
can
Sounds
hear
know,
like
her
you
right?
voice in
sound
my
just like
head.
her.
Right? I can literally hear her voice in my head.